Hey guys, we're out here at the homestead. This is the pile of wood we've gathered up. We've burned so much though. We're going to cut that up for firewood because I finally got a wood burning stove to go into the mobile home that we bought. I bought an old mobile home for $1,700. We still owe them $400. But we've been clearing, as you can see. We've been cutting trees down. And I was going to do a live stream, but I guess they've changed it where I don't meet the eligibility requirements at the moment. So, figured I'd just do a quick walk around. And we started cleaning up. We took one load of stuff to the dump yesterday. And this car belongs to a friend of mine. It was so funny. We was rolling it down here, and his brakes wasn't working. And he was going to take it to the left of that tree and didn't quite make the turn. And he hit the tree with his car. Oops. I guess that's one way to stop it. He has moved a fifth wheel out here. So, it's a friend of my son's. But we went all the way to the back of the property already. Thought I'd give you a look at the chickens. And here's the chickens. Hey guys. Bark, 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 bark. Yeah. They're always real friendly. That's the rooster. He's a barred rock. He is such a pretty rooster. And I got 9 girls. I had 10. And somehow or another, the gate got left open. It was probably my fault. That or, I mean, I just didn't latch it good enough. Anyway, it came loose. They all got out. So, I managed to find all but one of them. And she just disappeared. Never found feathers or nothing. So, I don't know if she wandered off to the neighbors. I asked him if he had an extra chicken. But he didn't know. Yeah, I know, right? Anyway, there's the girls and the boy. And they're doing pretty good. Yeah. They're still laying eggs. We're getting eggs every day. Not tons of them, but we're still getting eggs every day. The leaves are on here. So many of them. Yeah. I gave them some oranges, but they didn't like those. So, anyway. The no-dig garden did not do well at all this year. Probably because we didn't have enough water. Because we don't have running water. And so we was having to, like, bring them 20 ounces of water a day. You know, trying to keep them alive in the hot summer. It was really hot. But we have baby rabbits, guys. There's one of them. And there's some. We got some baby rabbits. They're going to all be weaned on... This one's got a big mustache like Groucho Marx. There's a little black one that's got two little white front feet. That's the mama. And there's the daddy of these babies. But they're all going to be weaned on January 10th. Just got to look at the camera. Oops, too close. Oh, there's the one with the little white front feet. Come on, move where I can see you. Oh, the other one moved in. Oh, well. Anyway, it's got 2 little white paws on the front. And I traded for this old travel trailer. It's just gutted on the inside. But we had to take... This thing was completely full, top to bottom, side to side with junk. And we've got it down to maybe a truckload now. There's the water. We haul water in those barrels. And here's the other rabbits. That's the boy. That's the daddy rabbit. He's the daddy to all the rest of the babies that you see. He's really a sweetie. He is so sweet. This is one of the rabbits that survived the attack. She has 4 babies. This is her first litter. And she's got 4. And anyway, they're all doing really well. Now this one, she had a litter of 8 and they died. And I don't know if she let them die or the cold weather got them, because the hay seemed a little damp in the bottom. So I don't know what the deal is. But I rebred her and she's going to have more babies. We'll see. If she lets the next litter die, she's going to end up being in the stew pot, or I'll sell her or something. Because I can't have a rabbit that's not going to actually raise the babies. She's the other one that survived the dog attack. So, now we got this one. She had 9 babies. And then this bucket was facing a different direction. She actually flipped it up on accident and it tilted. And all but 2 of the babies tumbled out onto the gauge floor and died of the cold. But let me get you. Here they are. Right there. Those are those 2 babies. But she's taken really good care of them. It was an accident. She didn't mean to kill her babies. So, what are you chewing on? Oh, she found a twig. Oh man, we've had a big ice storm. And we had several trees come down. Big limbs all over through here. And they just barely missed everything that was important. I barely missed the hatch on this side and barely missed the sheet metal that I using to block animals out on this other side. Just barely missed it all. It was just really luck that it survived, because we had 2 up there. We had 2 widowmakers. If you don't know what a widowmaker is, go check out a video that I did up in the Lincoln National Forest, and I'll explain it to you. It's not a very long video, but they fell right here, just barely missing this. And just a little homestead update of what we got going on. It looks really bad right now, but trust me, this looks pretty good compared to what it was. So I'm going to see if I can't take either this step or that step off and mount it on the side of my van. Here is the inside of this thing. It's got some holes in the roof, and it's been gutted. I was going to use this as a storage room. What I plan on doing is just trying to patch the little holes. It's a fiberglass up above that plywood, so if I can get some fiberglass patch, I could probably take care of that. It's got the aluminum frame, so I don't have to worry about the frame being rotten, but we still got to get all of this out of here. But we took 1,100 pounds to the dump yesterday. That was a big heavy load too. It was piled high now. We was able to burn a lot of it, but then we had to shovel up nails and stuff because of all the old wood. And this belongs to a friend. He's staying out here. He's my son's best friend from school. They've known each other since they were like 7 years old. And he's moved out here. And there's our main burn pile. Now, I'll show you where the old one was. The van still runs good, but I have to replace the steering column because it's broken on the inside, and I had to hot wire it to make it work. I tried replacing the ignition switch, which was half the problem. The other half was a gear inside and some sort of a push rod or something. I don't know, but it's inside the steering column. This is a truck I got for my son. I'd gotten a pretty good sized check from the unemployment, and so I didn't waste it. I got like 1,800 bucks, so I spent 1,600 on the truck. Anyway, this one right here is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath mobile home. We have to replace the floors in it. My son's going to build a house later in a few years. We decided we was going to get some other things done first, so I've been paying him $100 a week out of my unemployment, which leaves me $89 a week. So, because I only get $189 a week. That car belongs to Brandon. All the floors got replaced in it, and we still have to hook up the well and stuff. And I'll take you around and show you the well and stuff. They dug the well. Never, ever, ever use aqua well drilling in Oklahoma. They're the ones that did it. They screwed things up badly. Not the well, but the property. Because this right here was supposed to be all, he wanted to leave it wild for like a privacy screen. And they came in here and knocked down some trees and stuff with a backhoe. Didn't even offer to ask. They just did it. I told them to run the water out that way because the culvert's down there. And as a result, and they didn't do it. They threatened to leave and gave me a hard time, all kinds of stuff. They had already made the damage, though, by the time I realized what they were doing. So they went ahead and run that other stuff out that way, because they wouldn't run it the other way because they didn't want to get their truck dirty. They said they didn't want to have to wash their truck. Okay. So anyway, all the sludge from the well and everything that's washed down has plugged up the culvert down there at the road. Not happy about that. This is the ditch that they dug to put in the meter. I told them to leave it empty right here because here's the well. They did dig the well, but my son got fine printed in the contract, and they weren't supposed to put in the well pump or the pressure tank or anything like that. So all they did was just dig the hole. So that's just a hole. There's nothing in it. But I did find don't want to fall down on this big pile of dirt. I did find a pressure tank and a well pump. I got them for $300. They were supposed to pull the wire and the poly pipe all in one piece. They didn't. I caught them when I went over there to get the well. I caught them stripping the wire for copper. The poly pipe was in pieces. They cut it as they brought it up instead of leaving it whole. So now I got to buy new poly pipe. But the well and the pressure tank is supposed to work good. It belonged to his mom. His mom passed away. And he had sold the property. And they were going to bulldoze everything. So he let me buy the well. Anyway, so I got the well and the pressure tank. I just got to buy the poly pipe and new wire and a new rope. Because the rope was cut as well. So, but that's that. Take about another $600 or so worth of parts to put the well back together, probably, I'm guessing. So anyway, what I did is underneath those two buckets, I wired two temporary plugs, one for the fifth wheel and then one for my trailer, so we could have some electricity. So we're running extension cords for the electricity. There's no hot water tank in here, but I was thinking about saving up getting one of those tankless versions anyway. So here's where I got to dig the trench to run the wire. And it's about 30-ish feet plus the down. So we are looking probably 40 foot of wire to, and then we got to dig a trench from there all the way to here. Once we get the well put in, it's just on the side of that dirt. We can dig the trench right along here, because right there is where the water inlet is for the van, right where that hot water thing is. I have to replace that one little section of wall where that plywood is. Several of the 2x4s are rotten. And this thing's got a few leaks in the roof, but not too bad. They got our septic in. It's not a regular septic. It's an aerobic system. But we can't put anything in it until we can get the electric to it, because you see it with this little square thing. There's an air pump that goes down in there. I think it's for the second hole, to aerate it. And so you can't really put anything in there without the air pump, because then it's not considered an aerobic system. It's considered an anaerobic system, and that's not what the system is designed to be. It was a very expensive system, but it's been here since August, and we haven't been able to use it because we don't have the electric in yet. We just got the electric in here not too long back, and we still got to run wires and do all that kind of good stuff. So we had rain for a week once, right after they brought the mobile home. I thought this thing was going to float out of the ground because it's empty, but thank goodness it didn't. Anyway, there's the sprinklers for the aerobic system, those two purple pipes. I had them stick those pipes there so we wouldn't accidentally run them over. Didn't want to accidentally run over the sprinkler heads. Of course, that's not going to ever be used down there, so, now for sure it's never going to be used, because, you don't want to be walking through that. But it's supposed to be okay. It's like a mini sewage plant. By the time it goes into the first hole, it does stuff in the second hole, and then it goes into the third hole, and you put bleach down in there, and it treats the water in the third, and then it pumps it out and pumps it down through when it gets full, it pumps it down and pumps it out through the sprinkler heads down there. So however that works out. We still got a bunch of trees we got to cut up. And gotta get rid of this big old pile of dirt. But anyway, this is a little bit of a tour. This is that $200 trailer. I've replaced 19 foot of that for this wall on this side, and I still got to replace the rest of the walls. But when we moved into it, there's no room to work, and So I told Lucas, I said, until we'll just leave it as it is, even though it's not even insulated on the inside. We'll just leave it as is until we get the floor in this mobile home and get it up and running, and then we'll move out into the mobile home, and then I can remodel this trailer at will at that point. So I didn't take the axles out from underneath it, because if something happens and I need to move it or get rid of it, I've still got the axles and the tires and wheels, even though one wheel is ruined. But there's the axles. So this is kind of a little quickie tour. We lost a big tree right there to the ice storm, so we had to cut it down. We've been burning the limbs and stuff. It was huge. It was as big as those trees, if not bigger. And I put roof on that little shed that I built out of fence panels. I got some new metal, because we've got most of our stuff either in that shed or underneath tarps, because we had no place to put it. This is the ash pile from what we've burned already. Okay, we had it all scraped up and put into a pile. We've been shoveling it out one wheelbarrow load at a time to clear it out, for one, and for two, to put it in low spots that are needed, because it does have a little bit of dirt mixed in with it, but not much. And there's a couple more of the barrels we haul water in. I fill up 3 barrels and leave 1 empty. So anyway, guys, this is a homestead tour. It's really trashy right now, but we've already cleaned up 4 or 5 truckloads total. We're in the process of getting more cleaned up. So if you could hit the like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, and all that kind of good stuff, I would appreciate it. And y'all come back to see me.